everybody. Welcome to Relished. I'm Alli. I am a nutritionist and a yoga teacher, and I'm here to talk to you about nutrition topics every week. This week we're talking apple cider vinegar. We're going to go a little bit into detail about where it comes from, a little history, a little background, some health information, and we're going to do a recipe for sea salt and vinegar peanuts, which sounds really delicious to me. So, welcome to the show. I'm so happy to see you here, everybody. So if you have any questions or comments throughout the show, I love having conversations during the show. So put them in the chat. I've got it all set up. I already have 2 comments in the chat that I put to start the conversation. So the first piece in the chat section is the recipe for today. It's from relish.com. It's a Serious Eats recipe. So you can click on that, save the link. I think you're going to like it. It's going to be a little snack for us before dinner tonight. I also put my Instagram on there too, because that's where I post all the recipes the day after. Okay, so let's talk apple cider vinegar. I've got my large bottle here that I just got recently, and we drink a little bit of apple cider vinegar every day. I'll tell you why. So, yeah, it's kind of a hot item. I know it's been around, which we're going to talk about in the history. It's been around for a long time. I learned about it. I used to work at a co-op grocery store when I was 19. I got a book about apple cider vinegar there, read it cover to cover in one sitting. I was kind of sold on all the health benefits from it. So, I don't know. Some say there's a lot of research out there. Some say there isn't enough research, so who knows. But I do like the taste of it. So, there you go. Okay, well, let's just jump right into how it's made, first of all. So, apple cider vinegar is made by crushing apples and then exposing them to yeast. And then the yeast feeds on the sugars from the apples, and that turns them into alcohol. Then they add some more, then they add some bacteria. Then it starts to ferment. All these good things come out of it, and once that fermentation happens, acetic acid is formed, and that is what gives it that sour smell and flavor. And also that is what gives it the health benefits, according to a lot of research. So it's the acetic acid made from this fermentation process of apples. So you're going to get the most benefit, I guess, out of buying, I'm not saying you have to buy this brand, but this is just what we have, is organic, raw, unfiltered, with the mother. We're going to talk about what that means, because somebody might be like, what the heck? With the mother. So we'll talk about that in a little bit, but that is going to be the most pure, unfiltered, unprocessed version of apple cider. There are a lot of other apple ciders that don't have the mother, so it's not going to have as much of the good stuff, but this is what I recommend if you're going to have it or use it, even for salad dressings, whatever. Okay, so the mother is that like stringy, crazy looking thing that's in the bottle. And that is where all the proteins and enzymes and probiotic and the friendly bacteria, the probiotic, that's what that is. That's the mother, and that's a good thing. I remember the first time I bought it, I was like, what the heck is that? But that's what it is. Well, hello, Sarah. Hi, welcome to the show. Okay, so the mother, my thought is that the mother is called that because it gives life to this vinegar. It gives life, it has all the active ingredients, so that is kind of the start of all of the goodness in the vinegar. So many people attribute all the good things, all the health benefits coming from the mother. So there we go. And apple cider vinegar has been used for a really long time in history for all kinds of home remedies. And, from sore throat, I saw one place said that it's been used for varicose veins. I'm not sure how. And they're also like common colds, all kinds of things. So we will go into all of that soon. So a little bit about the history. Vinegar in general has been used for flavorings, for preserving foods, for healing wounds, for fighting infections, for cleaning surfaces, for managing diabetes. So these have been home remedies for thousands of years. And that's vinegar in general. The history of vinegar, they find, has started off back in 5000 BC, which is so long ago, by the Babylonians. They used it, they fermented they made vinegar from dates from the palm tree. And then they used that as food for preserving and also for pickling. So back then, they didn't have the refrigeration that we have now, so it was a great way to preserve foods, make them last longer. They also found traces of vinegar in Egyptian urns dating back to 3000 BC. So this is a long time ago. And they have also found that it was used and consumed in biblical times to flavor foods, as an energizing drink, and as medicine. It's mentioned in the Old and the New Testament. I thought that was really interesting. And let's see, the ancient Greeks used it back in 400 BC. Hippocrates, the father of modern medicine, he was prescribing it all the time by itself or with honey, and used for all kinds of ailments like colds and coughs and wound healing and all of that. So lots of good stuff. And it also has, apple cider vinegar has a strong history in Africa and China, used for alternative medicine. Most recently, which we're going to go into all kinds of the health stuff that people claim or have talked about, all this stuff. Most recently, it's been used for detox diets, for losing weight, for controlling diabetes, for lowering cholesterol, all that stuff. We'll talk about if all of that's true or not. So the word vinegar comes from two French words, which mean sour wine. And that sourness, as we talked about before, comes from that acetic acid. So let's talk about the health benefits. So the goodness in the vinegar, in the apple cider vinegar, comes from the polyphenols, which we've talked about before. Those are phytochemicals, antioxidants. We know the good things about antioxidants. Help get rid of all those free radicals in our bodies and all the things we're exposed to. And also it has a good source of B vitamins in apple cider vinegar as well. So some of the benefits. Let's talk about that. So vinegar, apple cider vinegar, has been found to be antibacterial. And it was traditionally used for cleaning and disinfecting. I know that maybe some of you have heard of using vinegar to clean things in your house as well, diluted vinegar. So that has been that's been used for a long time. It's been used to treat things like ear infections and lice, and I thought that was interesting. And also used as a food preservative. Apparently, it inhibits bacteria like E. coli from growing, and it can help food from spoiling. We're going to go into a little bit of that. A study that was done, we'll get into it, but I thought it was pretty cool. I'm going to take a sip of my apple cider vinegar beverage. Okay, so some of the big claims out there. So apple cider vinegar has possibly been found to help blood sugar levels and manage diabetes. There are some studies out there. There was one study in the Journal of the American Association of Diabetes, and participants were given a bagel, butter, and orange juice. And then after the meal, some people got 20 grams of apple cider vinegar, and some people got a placebo. And the researchers checked their blood glucose levels after 30 minutes and after 60 minutes, and they found that the apple cider vinegar group had lower post-meal blood glucose levels than the placebo. So I thought that was pretty interesting. Definitely not a recommendation to take apple cider vinegar instead of diabetes medications, definitely talk to your doctor about that. This is only one study, but there has been some research out there, but it's definitely not a recommendation to stop taking any medications. But definitely talk to your doctor about even taking the vinegar in addition to that too. So just throwing it out there. And let's see. So some studies have also found that apple cider vinegar could help people lose weight. And here are the studies. And here are the reasons why. So they found that a lot of the studies found that it helps people lose weight because it gives you a sense of fullness. So you end up eating less, eating fewer calories and losing weight throughout the day. So one study, you know how I like studies, people had a high-carb meal, and then some people in the group had apple cider vinegar in addition to that high-carb meal. And it was found that they ate 200 to 275 calories fewer in the rest of the day. So it did curb their appetite a little bit. Another study in the Journal of Functional Food showed that apple cider vinegar may help with weight loss. This is what the study was. So the participants drank a total of 2 tablespoons with lunch and dinner. So maybe a tablespoon at lunch, a tablespoon at dinner. And they also ate a diet that was 250 calories less than what their body needed. And they found that they had some reduced weight. The people in the apple cider vinegar group lost an average of 8.8 pounds after 12 weeks. And the people that did not get the vinegar lost 5 pounds over 12 weeks because both groups had 250 calories less than they normally do. But the only difference was that one group had apple cider vinegar and one group did not. So over 12 weeks, they lost 8.8 pounds on average. Thought that was interesting. There's also another famous study from 2009 where 175 people were given either zero amounts of apple cider vinegar, 1 tablespoon or 2 tablespoons. And after 3 months, the group that were given the vinegar lost an average of 2 to 4 pounds, and they had lower triglyceride levels than the people that didn't have vinegar. So, small amount, but something, I guess. So, that's interesting. And I don't think they changed their diet in any way. But there have been studies found also that drinking it also causes nausea, which then could make you eat less and then have reduced calories. So those are the studies. So it might help, but it might be a small amount. Hey, Marion, how's it going? Welcome to the show. I know that you like apple cider vinegar as well. We definitely have it in our house a little bit in the morning. Okay, so another claim is that it could help with, I missed which study you were referencing. I was referencing a lot of different studies, but the most recent one I said was a group of people were given either no apple cider vinegar, 1 tablespoon, or 2 tablespoons. And they found that after 3 months, the vinegar group lost between 2 and 4 pounds. So something, one study, we'll see. Just finished a mug of vinegar. Oh, great. Okay, so it could also improve your heart health, is what they found. There are mostly just animal studies done with this, but they found that it could possibly lower cholesterol and triglyceride levels in animals. So not a whole lot done with humans, so that's kind of up in the air. I found that the research says that it does not help lower blood pressure. So it's not to be considered a blood pressure lowering substance. There aren't any human studies that claim that is true. There are some studies on animals, but none on humans. So keep that in mind. And I found a lot of information that it could boost our skin health because our skin is naturally slightly acidic, and adding a topical apple cider vinegar tonic, which I'm going to give a toner recipe at the end of the show. I'm going to give a little recipe that I found. I've never done it before, but I think it sounds interesting. And let's see. But they say that it could rebalance your pH of your skin and protect your skin. So we'll see. That's interesting. And so this is the study about the food. I thought this was kind of cool. There was a study done where they added salmonella to arugula, and then they added either vinegar or lemon juice or a combination of both to the arugula to see if this would help the bacterial growth, help reduce the bacterial growth, and it did. So salad dressing could, in addition to making things taste good, could be helping with the bacterial growth on lettuce. Although we should still wash our lettuce and make sure it looks like it's from a reputable place. But I thought that was interesting, for sure. Okay, well, that's kind of it on the health benefits. The next component I have is just how can we consume it? So most people that are drinking it for like health reasons have either between 1 and 2 teaspoons a day or 1 and 2 tablespoons a day. Definitely recommend diluting it in your water for sure, because it's pretty strong if you just swig it from the bottle. And they say that could really damage the enamel on your teeth if you're just drinking it straight. So it actually makes me salivate just thinking about drinking it straight. It's so sour. But add it to a big glass of water, 1 to 2 tablespoons or 1 to 2 teaspoons. They say not to really exceed 2 tablespoons for that reason, for your teeth. And also it could make you nauseous, or it could make acid reflux worse, they say, in some people. So 2 tablespoons max is what they have found. So yeah, a couple of sites were really talking about how great this brand is, but you can definitely buy all different ones. But this is just kind of the purest because of the raw, unfiltered, with the mother, unpasteurized. So it's just the vinegar and the water. You got the mother, you got all the good stuff. It's pretty cloudy, so it's unfiltered. Let's see what else. So yeah, so you can drink it diluted in water. You can put it in salad dressings. You can use it as a marinade for meats and vegetables. You can stir it into soup. You can stir it into tea. So many options. So many options. So really the takeaway here is apple cider vinegar. It might help with some of those things we mentioned. It might help with diabetes. It might help with weight loss. It has been found as antibacterial. It might help with our skin. So there's still, everything I read though was like, you know what, there still needs to be a lot of research done. So it's not this cure-all that a lot of websites or companies claim, but it could be something. And if you like the taste, no harm done. I did find some interesting information of other ways to use apple cider vinegar besides drinking it. So I just wanted to share those with you too. And then we're going to make these salt and vinegar peanuts because they sound really good. They were saying, so this one site was saying that because it's an antibacterial, you could make an air freshener or an air, I guess, deodorizer to eliminate smells. And I thought that was interesting. So you mix apple cider vinegar with water and put it in a spray. The latest trick I read was spritzing popcorn with vinegar so something like a nutritional yeast would stick. Oh, that's a great idea. That's kind of like the peanuts that we're going to make today. I'm going to have to try that. Some olive oil, some vinegar, nutritional yeast. That sounds delicious. Have you tried it? I'm going to try that. Thanks for the tip, Marion. Okay. They also said that it could be a foot soak, which I thought was interesting. And a deodorant. You could mix apple cider vinegar with water and Epsom salts, and it could help your feet if your feet stink. And also it says that you could dilute some apple cider vinegar, use it as a deodorant. Haven't tried it, but excited to. Yeah, we'll have to discuss that. We'll have to try it and discuss it next week or next time we're on the show. So the facial toner. Apple cider vinegar can help with face, with the skin on our face, and they say 1 part apple cider vinegar, 2 parts water. Get something to apply on your face, and it can help clean your face. Yes, GERD is acid reflux disease. That is correct. Fruit fly trap. So pour apple cider vinegar with a little bit of dish soap in a dish around that time of year when there are fruit flies in the house. It helps get them. Interesting. I read also that it could help when you're hard boiling eggs if you put a little vinegar in the water. I've never tried that, but it's worth a try. And they say you could also wash your fruits and vegetables with apple cider vinegar, get all the harmful bacteria that might be on the outside. And it could be used as a weed killer. Undiluted vinegar sprayed on weeds could help weeds in your garden. Who knew? I also heard for weight loss. Yes, there have been some studies that it could help. Some studies say, moderate weight loss. Some say mild. So it's something. Not a whole lot. Not everything says that it does help you lose weight, but there are some studies. Okay, let's make some sea salt and vinegar peanuts. Okay, so this is from relished.com. I also have the link up in the chat, so give it check it out, or you can just search it on relish.com. It's called sea salt and vinegar peanuts. So you take, the recipe calls for 1 pound of peanuts. I had 1/2 pound. I figured that's probably good. I'm just going to cut the recipe in half. You soak peanuts, shelled already. Soak peanuts in a bowl with apple cider vinegar for an hour. I kept stirring it because it wasn't covering it all the way. I stirred it an hour. Then you drain them and you put them on a baking sheet lined with a paper towel. And these have been drying for a while. I don't think you have to dry them as long as I did. These have been drying for like an hour. But, oh boy, it really makes your house smell like vinegar. My husband was upstairs, and I was in the kitchen down here, and he came down, and he was like, oh, yeah, it smells like vinegar in here, so be prepared. It does smell like apple cider vinegar in our house, and I think it probably will for a while. Okay, so we have the peanuts. Next, I'm going to heat some oil, about 1/4 cup of oil. I'm using, what do I have? Sunflower oil. Let's turn the stove on. Okay. Calls for 1/2 cup of peanut or canola oil. I have sunflower oil. That's what I use for my vegetable oil when I make popcorn. Okay. Excuse me. Okay. We're heating the oil. And then this is super simple. I'm going to take a drink. Really cool. Okay. We're heating the oil. Then we're going to put the peanuts in. And I'm going to just kind of pull these off the paper towel because they did stick to it just a little bit. Nothing crazy, but just a little bit. Oh yes, I forgot. There was a little bit of water on my burner. Let's wipe that off. Okay, there we go. We have an electric stove, so one of those like flat surfaces, so if there's water on it, you can hear it. You can hear it. Okay. So we got the oil heating. I'm going to add our first batch. They say to do it in batches, so I'm going to do it in batches. Let's do 1/2 of these first, and then I can show you the outcome. All right, so putting them in. Let's see how long. Okay, it says stir until golden, 3 to 5 minutes. That's pretty easy. That's pretty easy. Okay, I'll do one more little handful. I've got my little spatula. And while these are cooking, I want to show you then, they say that once they've cooked, to put them on another baking sheet lined with a paper towel. And this way it can kind of catch any extra oil. Okay, so we're basically pan roasting these peanuts. Let's see. And yes, we're using raw shelled peanuts. So now we're just kind of roasting them. Kind of cooking them, kind of roasting them. And this is good. And it's on, let's see, moderately high heat. So my dial, I have it on 7.5 out of 8. So that's pretty high. So there we go. All right, so they're getting nice and toasty. So we're gonna do this, it says for 3 to 5 minutes until they're golden. So it says stirring. So I guess we're stirring the whole time. All right. This is looking good, everybody. This is gonna be such a great snack. This would have been really good for watching the game yesterday, but it really can be anytime. Any kind of snack, and it's pretty easy as long as, you know, you plan ahead with soaking them in the vinegar. But if you like salt and vinegar potato chips, then I think you're going to like these salt and vinegar peanuts. And if you're allergic to peanuts, but you can eat other nuts, I think you could probably still do it with like cashews, with almonds. I think it would work, for sure. I think it would even work with like garbanzo beans too, like roasted garbanzo beans. That might be interesting. Okay. So they are cooking. I think maybe one more minute. And then I'm excited to show you what's next. And it's going to be really pretty. Because we're going to add, well, we're going to add some salt. We're going to add a little bit more vinegar. And then we're going to add some fresh parsley, which is something that I like to have on hand a lot because it just makes things pretty. It doesn't have a whole lot of flavor. Okay, they're getting roasted. I'm going to show you. They're getting nice and roasted. Whoops, kind of hard to tell. Kind of hard to tell over the camera, but they smell very roasted. It smells really, really good. All right. We'll just give it a little bit more time. So, apple cider vinegar. Does anybody else here drink their apple cider vinegar? Yum. I know. I wish I could share these with everybody because they look really good. All right. We've got some roasted peanuts here. Okay, I'm going to turn the heat off. We'll just do a half batch together, and then I'll do the other batch after the show. Okay, and then it says use a slotted spoon. This is what we use in our house, but you don't have to. Hey, hey Kelly. Hi. My husband drinks water and apple cider vinegar several times a day, I think to metabolize carbs. Is it actually effective in doing that? You can mail some to me. I will mail some to you. You know, that's what some of the, back to your question, Kelly, that's what some of the studies are talking about where they say that it could help with people with diabetes, but it could also help with people without diabetes. It does help lower blood sugar, so maybe that is kind of, in a sense, doing the same thing for carbs. So I will find out that answer. But I did read that a lot, for sure. Okay. All right. So, yeah, so the one study where the people ate the carbs, the people that took the vinegar after 30 minutes and after 60 minutes had lower blood sugar levels than people that did not take the apple cider vinegar. So it's something for sure. I also recently bought Gummies gummies, the cider vinegar gummies. Have you seen those? You know, I have. Or I saw them on Amazon the other day. Probably because I've been talking about apple cider vinegar and it was like a recommended thing. So I haven't tried them, but they sound interesting. I recently, oh, you bought them. So are they good? What do you, let me know. Let me know. That sounds interesting. Okay, so we're going to let these cool on here, but I just want to show you what we're going to do next. Okay, we're going to put these in a bowl, add some, here I'm just going to put a few just so you can see, add some salt. You add a little bit more vinegar, just a touch. I'm going to just do like a spoonful, like little bit. And some parsley. And we have got some really pretty roasted peanuts with salt and vinegar. I highly recommend it. Haven't tried yet, but I'll let you know. Okay, good. Yeah, let me know. Let us know. Thank you all for joining. Thank you so much, everybody, for the conversation, the comments, the questions, the everything. Thank you all for being here. The house smells really good. It smells like we're like at a football or a baseball game or movie theater or something. So it smells good. All right. Thanks, everybody. We'll see you next time. Have a good night. Okay. Bye.